Last month, I received dividends from 3 ETFs and 17 companies, and today I want to share a quick snapshot of each company and the dividend income I received. And we're going to start with JEPI, the JP Morgan Equity Premium Income ETF. And you can see that year to date, they're actually up in share price by 1.58%. The expense ratio is 0.35%. It's a monthly payer, and you receive $6.04 for each share you own, with a dividend yield in the trailing 12 months of 10.91%. I currently own 60 shares of JEPI and received $18.67 in dividend income. Next up is Johnson & Johnson. Year to date, they're down in share price by 7.11%. The forward PE is 15.54, and the dividend yield right now is 2.88%. With 60 years of dividend growth and a 5-year dividend growth rate of 6.02%, the payout ratio is 44.44%. And the 10-year total return is 147.11%. Presently own just under 10 shares of Johnson & Johnson and received a dividend payment of $11.62, bringing my monthly total up to $30.29. Next up is the Olin Corporation. Year to date, down in share price by 1.87%. The forward PE is 9.73, and the dividend rate right now is 80 cents for each share that you own. Dividend yield at 1.56%. And the 10-year total return for Olin is 189.71%. I presently own 5 shares and received a dividend payment of 71 cents, bringing my total for the month up to $31. Next up is Snap-on Incorporated, ticker symbol is SNA, and year to date they're up in share price by 25.64%. The forward PE is 16.42, and the dividend rate is $6.48 for each share that you own. The yield right now is 2.25%. They've been growing their dividend for 13 years and have a 5-year dividend growth rate of 14.65% and a payout ratio of 34.88%. And their 10-year total return is 286%. I presently own 1.74 shares of Snap-on, a newer position for me, and they paid out $2.83 in dividend income, bringing my monthly total up to $33.83. Next up is Pfizer Incorporated, ticker symbol is PFE, and year to date they're having a rough go with a negative 28.44% price return. The forward PE is 11, the dividend rate is $1.64 for each share you own, and presently the dividend yield is 4.47%. There are 12 years of dividend growth and a 5-year dividend growth rate of 5.32%, payout ratio 26.01%. And the 10-year total return is at 98.59%. I presently own just under 4 shares of Pfizer and received a dividend payment in the amount of $6.70, bringing my monthly total up to $40.53. The next payment I received was from Chevron Corporation, the ticker symbol is CVX. Year to date, they're down in share price by 9.56%. The forward PE is 11.37, the dividend rate is $6.04 for each share you own, and the dividend yield right now is 3.84%. 35 years of dividend growth and a 5-year dividend growth rate of 5.90%. The payout ratio is 30.34%. The 10-year total return is at 98.43%. I presently own 13.5 shares of Chevron and received a dividend payment in the amount of $20.16, bringing my monthly total up to $60.69. Next up is the 3M Company, ticker symbol MMM. Year to date, they're down in share price by 18.27%. The forward PE is 11.59. Dividend rate right now is $6 for each share you own, and the dividend yield is a whopping 5.99%. There are 64 years of dividend growth for 3M, 5-year dividend growth rate of 3.36%, and a payout ratio of 63.38%. And the 10-year total return is 21.97%. I presently own 7.3 shares of 3M and received a dividend payment of $10.87, bringing my monthly total up to $71.56. The next dividends I received came from Realty Income Corporation, ticker symbol O. Year to date, they're down in share price by 6.29%. The price to funds from operations is 14.48, and right now the dividend rate is $3.07 for each share that you own, with a dividend yield of 5.13%. There are 26 years of dividend growth and a 5-year dividend growth rate of 3.74%, payout ratio of 73.81%. And the 10-year total return is 126.69%. I presently own 108 shares of Realty Income and received a dividend payment this month of $26.22, bringing my total up to $97.78. Next up is the Hershey Company, ticker symbol HSY, and year to date they're up in share price by 10.03%. The forward PE is 26.22, and the dividend rate right now is $4.14 for each share that you own, with a dividend yield of 1.66%. They've been growing their dividend for the last 13 years, and the 5-year dividend growth rate is 9.57%, and the payout ratio at 44.79%. Looking at their 10-year return, we've got 244.51%. I have a tiny position of Hershey of a 1.92 shares, and I received a total of $1.54 from Hershey, bringing my monthly total up to $99.32. The next payment I received was from the Home Depot Incorporated, ticker symbol HD. Year to date, they're down in share price by 1.67%. Forward PE is 20.78. Dividend rate right now is $8.36 for each share that you own, and the dividend forward yield is 2.69%. They've been growing their dividend for 13 years, and a 5-year dividend growth rate is 15.75%, payout ratio of 48.63%. And the 10-year total return for Home Depot is 397.84%. I presently own just under 11 shares of Home Depot and received a dividend payment of $22.68, bringing my monthly total up to $122. Next up is Next Era Energy, ticker symbol is NEE, and year to date they're down in share price by 11.49%. The forward PE is 23.84, the dividend rate $1.87 for each share that you own, and the yield right now is 2.52%. There are 27 years of dividend growth and a 5-year dividend growth rate of 11.28%, payout ratio of 57.89. And in the last 10 years, Next Era Energy has a 380.04% total return. I presently own 7.4 shares of Next Era Energy and received a dividend payment of $2.65, bringing my monthly total up to $124.65. Next up is Raytheon Technologies Corporation. Ticker symbol is RTX. Year to date, they're down in share price by 2.83%. Forward PE of 19.49. The dividend rate is $2.36, and the forward yield is 2.41%. They've been growing their dividend for the last 29 years and have a 5-year dividend growth rate of 4.92% and a payout ratio of 45.27%. The 10-year total return is 104.35%. I presently own just over 12 shares of Raytheon and received a dividend payment in the amount of $7.25, bringing my monthly total up to $131.90. Next up is Lockheed Martin Corporation, ticker symbols LMT, and year to date they're down in share price by 3.5%. The forward PE is 17.15, and the dividend rate is $12 for each share that you own, with a forward yield of 2.61%. With 20 years of dividend growth and a 5-year dividend growth rate of 8.58%, Lockheed Martin has a payout ratio of 42.32% and a 10-year total return of 456.04%. I presently own 6.17 shares of Lockheed Martin and received dividend payment in the amount of $18.41, bringing my monthly payment up to $150.31. And after doing quite a bit of finagling in my portfolio, I've got a much more sizable position in SCHD, and I'm probably the most excited about this one. They are down in share price year to date by 3.74%. Are presently paying out $2.60 for each share that you own, and the yield in the trailing 12 months is 3.58%. There are 10 years of dividend growth with a 5-year dividend growth rate of 13.92%. And the 10-year total return is 198.36%. I presently own, and I'm so excited, 242 shares of SCHD, making it my largest holding, and I received $155.49 in dividend income, bringing my total for the month up to $305.80. I'm so excited about this one. Next up is iShares Core Dividend Growth ETF, ticker symbol is DGRO, and they are up in share price year to date by 3.35%. The dividend rate is 1.23%, and the yield in the trailing 12 months is 2.39%. 8 years of dividend growth and a 5-year dividend growth rate of 10.64%. This dividend ETF has a total return in the last 10 years of 152.99%. I presently own 11 shares of DGRO and received a dividend payment in the amount of $2.89, bringing my monthly total up to $308.69. Next up is Main Street Capital, the third of my monthly payers, and year to date they are up in share price by 9.58%. The forward PE is 10.03, and the dividend rate is $2.76 for each share you own, with a forward yield of 6.89%. With 2 years of dividend growth and a 5-year dividend growth rate of 2.9%, the payout ratio is 73.32%, and the 10-year total return is 233.86%. I presently own 104 shares of Main Street Capital and received a dividend payment of $24.91, bringing my monthly total up to $333.60. Next is T. Rowe Price Group. Year to date, they're up in share price by 2.63%, have a forward PE of 16.66, a dividend rate of $4.88, and a forward yield of 4.36%. With 36 years of dividend growth and a 5-year dividend growth rate of 13.76%, T. Rowe Price has a payout ratio of 68.08% and a 10-year total return of 105.9%. I presently own 34.4 shares of T. Rowe and received a dividend payment of $41.63, bringing my total up to $375.23. Next up is Corning Incorporated, ticker symbol is GLW, and they are up in share price year to date by 7.68%. The forward PE is 17.56, dividend rate of $1.12, and a forward yield of 3.2%. Corning's been growing their dividend for 12 years, has a 5-year dividend growth rate of 10.42%, and a payout ratio of 55.61%, and a 10-year total return of 211.58%. I presently own 86 shares of Corning and received a dividend payment of $23.70, bringing my monthly total up to $398.93. Next up is Broadcom Incorporation, ticker symbol is AVGO, and they are having a phenomenal performance year to date in their share price with a return of 56.72%. The forward PE is 20.62, the dividend rate is $18.40 for each share you own, with a forward yield of 2.12%. Broadcom has 11 years of dividend growth with a 5-year dividend growth rate of 23.34% and a payout ratio of 43.84%. And the 10-year total return for Broadcom is 2,805.38%, which is why I own 0.7 of a share. I own almost 3/4 of a share. I'm chipping away, you guys. And that brought me a dividend payment of $3.11, bringing my total for the month up to $402.04. And then we have PepsiCo, ticker symbol PEP, who is year to date up in share price by 3.24%. The forward PE is 25.32. The dividend rate is $5.06 for each share, with a forward yield of 2.73%. Pepsi's been growing that dividend for 50 years, has a 5-year dividend growth rate of 7.12%, and a payout ratio of 65.71%. And in the last 10 years, boasts a total return of 205.38%. I presently own 3.97 shares of Pepsi, which brought me a dividend of $4.87, bringing my total for the month of June up to $406.91. Now, some of you may remember that last month I was looking at my goal for my annual dividend income, and at that point my goal was just over $3,500 for the year. And I had surpassed it. So it was time to make a new goal for myself. And lots of you suggested $4,000 as being the next benchmark to hit by the year's end. And some of you suggested a little higher. So I kind of went with an odd number yet again. So I'm setting a goal for myself that by the end of this year, my projected annual dividend income will be at $4,444, which means I need to continue to build my portfolio to infuse another $655 in dividend income by the end of the year. I love a good goal. What do you guys think? Do you think I can do it? As we cannot improve upon that which is not measured, I like to take a peek at my month-over-month and quarter-over-quarter income. If I look at quarter 3 of 2022, I was at $535.82, and now I'm up to $947.40. I'm really hopeful that by the end of quarter 3 of 2023, I've exceeded that $1,000 mark. And if we pop on over to my dividend dashboard, you can see how my income is tracking month over month. And you can see where I started in 2022 with 60 cents of dividend income and how far this portfolio has grown. What did you receive in dividend income last month? Leave me a comment below. I can't wait to hear how you guys are all doing. And then go and take a peek at this video next.